All right, everyone, welcome back. We're going to dive deep into the world of Tesla's Cybertruck today, specifically all the recalls it's had recently. And what we really want to figure out is what these recalls mean, not just for Tesla, but for anyone who owns a Cybertruck, and really for the future of electric vehicles in general. And there's some, there's some politics mixed in here too, so stick with us.
One thing that really jumps out at me is you have this vehicle, the Cybertruck, that's been so hyped up, cutting edge technology and all, and then you have all these recalls. So I'm really interested to see how this affects the public's perception of how reliable Tesla actually is.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking about the sixth recall this year, and this one's a big one. It's a problem with the Cybertruck's drive inverters, and it affects over 2,400 trucks that were made between late 2023 and the middle of 2024.
And, for our listeners who might not be familiar with all the technical terms, the drive inverter is a pretty important part of any electric vehicle. Basically, it's what takes the DC power from the battery and converts it to AC power, which is what the motors that turn the wheels need.
So this isn't like a little glitch. If the drive inverter goes out, you could completely lose power while you're driving. Imagine you're on the highway going fast, and suddenly you can't accelerate.
Yeah, that's a major safety issue.
Yeah.
You suddenly lose power like that, especially at high speeds or in traffic, you're almost guaranteed to have an accident.
And this recall, this is just the latest in a string of them. Earlier this year, they had recalls for things like, get this, the font size on the warning lights. Apparently it was too small.
Oh, wow.
Then there was the unintended acceleration because of a quote-unquote trapped pedal.
And let's not forget about that huge single-blade wiper. That's become like a trademark of the Cybertruck.
Oh, yeah. And then there were the recalls because the trim on the truck bed could come off and for the rear view camera malfunctioning.
Yeah, it's kind of starting to feel like you need a whole checklist before you can even drive this thing safely.
Yeah.
But here's the weird thing. Despite all of these problems, the Cybertruck is selling like crazy.
Oh, yeah. It was the third best-selling electric vehicle in the U.S. in the third quarter of this year. Only the Model Y and the Model 3, which are also Teslas, sold more.
Right. But it makes you wonder, is this going to last? Are people just so excited about the Cybertruck? Are they overlooking all these potential problems?
Or maybe they're just thinking Tesla will fix all these things before their truck is actually built. That's definitely a risk. But there's another piece to this whole story. Elon Musk and his new role in the Trump administration.
That's where things get really interesting. So right now, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or NHTSA, they've got 4 separate investigations going on into possible safety defects in Tesla vehicles. And the one they're most concerned about is the safety of Tesla's full self-driving supervised system, especially when visibility is bad, like in fog or really bright sunlight.
Right, and just to clarify for anyone who doesn't know, full self-driving supervised, that's Tesla's advanced driver assistance system. It's what lets the car, drive itself, but the driver still has to be there and paying attention just in case. So the NHTSA is looking into whether this system is really safe to use in all kinds of driving conditions.
Exactly. And on top of all of that, you've got Musk's new position with the Trump administration. He's in charge of this brand new office that's supposed to make the government more efficient. Now, Congress hasn't actually officially created this office yet, but Musk is already saying he wants to use his power to cut government spending and get rid of some regulations.
And guess what one of his targets is?
What's that?
Motor vehicle safety standards. The very same standards that are overseen, at least in part, by the NHTSA. The same NHTSA that's currently investigating Tesla.
That does seem a bit, well, like a conflict of interest, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
On the one hand, you have Musk, the CEO of Tesla, who obviously wants to make things easier for his company, which means fewer regulations. But on the other hand, you have Musk, this government advisor, who's supposed to be working for what's best for the public.
So what does this all mean for our listeners? I guess the main thing is stay informed, especially when it comes to electric vehicles. We need to be smart consumers, do our own research, and really think about all the risks and benefits before we decide to buy any car, electric or not.
I totally agree. Don't just get caught up in all the hype. Look deeper, ask questions, and come to your own conclusions. There's a lot more to this than what you see on the surface.
Right. Until next time, stay curious and drive safe.